There was an idea
to bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
Who the hell are you guys?
Hey guys, Ben here, and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a video on Avengers Infinity War about the trailer and some other stuff that I want to talk about in this video. So I know normally I don't do Marvel stuff that much because obviously my channel is called the DC TV show, but disregarding that, I just like doing things that I love, and this Avengers Infinity War trailer is amazing. So I wanted to cover it and to cover some Thanos stuff because, you know, there has been some stuff like with the films in the past and how he looks now, so we're going to be talking about that. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new, because we will be doing Avengers Infinity War videos because I'm very excited for this film. So if you're not a DC fan but you're a Marvel fan, please still subscribe because you don't want to miss out on these in-depth breakdowns. So in the past we've seen Thanos, and this is something that has been a big plot point and something that I really want to cover because in posters and from scenes that we've seen in the past, we see that his pigmentation's very purple, and it always has been very purple, and this picture has been going around online, and this caught my attention as in 2012, when Thanos was first introduced, he looked very different, to be fair, because obviously it was a different actor, and they only recently recast the actor as Josh Brolin, and I think they did that on purpose, just due to the fact that they knew that they were going to establish this character later on down the line at the end of Phase 3. They knew that already, for sure, and they just wanted to tease us with Thanos with these few scenes that he actually has been getting over the years. He's been teased since the first Avengers. So in the first Avengers film, we see him in a post-credit scene, and you can see his skin tone is very purpley pink, and in the Guardians of the Galaxy film you can see that his skin pigment has changed again and he looks very purpley blue. So throughout these scenes that we've seen him, his pigmentation has changed every time. So in the posters he seems to be a more pale purple, and in these scenes he seems to be a bit more dark bluey purple, and obviously in the first Avengers film he was very pinky purple, and obviously their minds changed as they've gone on, and they can do that because, you know, films do recast, films do retcon stuff. So with Josh Brolin coming, obviously he looks a lot different, but he still has the same overall concept. But in the trailer, the thing that caught most people's eyes was his very pale pink skin is very different from what we've seen in the past and what we've seen in the Infinity War trailer. I think it might be just due to the CGI, and maybe they haven't finished the CGI, but it's a big plot point because he's changed. Maybe he's gone through some tanning processes, but reverse tanning. I'm joking, but he does look very cool. Maybe the skin pigmentation changed to a more pale pink was to make him more relatable to us, because, you know, this does seem like it's a lot closer to human skin color, as if his whole face was blushing. So this is like the color if you're white and you're blushing. So I think the main overall concept of him having this new color skin is maybe to make him more relatable. But onto the trailer. So I want to break down a lot of the shots within the trailer, because I think this trailer is one of the best trailers that I've seen for Marvel in a long time. Like, I was excited for Spider-Man Homecoming, but this was on another level. So in the trailer, we're not going to be going through this chronologically, but we get to see Thanos and his Infinity Gauntlet, and that is something that has been talked about a whole load, because that is the main story arc of his character, getting all of the Infinity Stones. And although I'm not the most familiar with the storyline in the comics, I'm very familiar with the Spider-Man stuff, but I know roughly what's going on in this film. But I should definitely go back and read this Infinity Gauntlet storyline before this film actually comes out. As you can see, he's got 2 of the Infinity Gems and he's missing the rest. So throughout this film, it's been said it's going to be like a heist film, so they're going to be getting the Infinity Stones. And moving on from that, we get some awesome Spider-Man shots in this trailer, and Peter's got that Iron Spider suit. That's what we're describing it as, because it's very similar to the comic version. And although I wasn't the biggest fan of this in Spider-Man Homecoming, on screen with full CGI, with this in action, I think it looks really dope. I think it's a big step up from his suit at the moment, because I'm not too keen on the new Spider-Man suit. I'm more of the fan of the old Spider-Man suits from the other films, like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man suit was great, and also I felt like the Tobey Maguire one was a classic, and I really like that sort of design. But moving on from the Spider-Man stuff, we'll get back to that some more later, but we get to see Stark, and it seems to be like he's weeping, so maybe he's crying, and it does seem like someone might be dying in this scene, because Stark doesn't cry, right? He's a billionaire. He's sort of your Bruce Wayne of the Marvel universe, and it's not normal for him to actually cry. So I think someone's definitely gonna die, and there has been rumors that people are gonna die in Infinity War due to them moving on to phase 4 after this with different characters, obviously introducing like Spider-Man. He's gonna have a lot of films. Black Panther, they're just an example of the characters who are coming through, so some of the old people might get killed off. So a big candidate for that would be Black Widow or Captain America, just due to the fact that they've been there practically since the start, just after Iron Man. And it seems like because their contracts, the actors' contracts, are actually up, they have the potential to actually kill off these characters if they wish, to actually move Marvel from phase 3 into phase 4, and I think that would be a good choice. But I don't want Captain America to die, because I'm a massive Captain America fan. In one of the opening shots of the trailer, we get to see a planet, and to be fair, this doesn't look like Earth, and I think it could be the planet that Thanos is actually later seen on, just due to the fact of the pigment of the sky. It seems very orangey red, and the background that Thanos is on seems to be a bit like that. But we get a shot of Doctor Strange and Wong in the Sanctum, and this is actually the shot where Hulk actually falls through it, and we see this later with the team up shot with those 2, Bruce and Stark. And obviously the reunion between Bruce and Stark is going to be great. I'm very excited to see that, because Bruce talked a lot about him in Thor Ragnarok, so I'm very excited to see that. But we get to see Bruce Banner next to the Hulkbuster arm, and he's next to Black Panther talking to him. So it seems like in this film, the way the trailer actually portrays it is that Bruce is actually going to be inside the Hulkbuster, and maybe he doesn't want to use his Hulk powers, and it's practically nearly as strong as Hulk. And I think that could actually be more powerful than the Hulk, with Bruce's mind inside the Hulkbuster. I think that would be a great idea for them to actually use going forwards. And we get the opening shot of Thanos as he walks through some sort of portal. He looks really cool, and he does look very scary. But we get an example of the Spidey sense, and this probably got me the most excited in the trailer, just due to the fact that I'm a massive Spider-Man fan. We didn't get an example of Spidey sense in Spider-Man Homecoming, so this is a more physical, more literal version of his Spidey sense, which is normally just in his head in the comics. But we get some really dope shots of Spider-Man as he's on one of Thanos' dropships, because it doesn't look like it's one of the main ships, because his main ship is massive. So I think this could be like a scout or something to start what's going on, because New York's actually getting attacked by this spaceship, so it seems like it's just the beginning of what's going to be coming. So Captain America returns. That was probably one of the coolest scenes in the whole trailer, with Black Panther saying, "Get this man a shield," and we see Captain America walk out of the shadows, and we see Proxima Midnight, who's actually debuting in this film, so she's part of Thanos' Black Order, and we see a few of the other members of the Black Order. So I'm very excited, as she's definitely facing off against Captain America in this, because she throws her staff and Cap actually catches it. Throughout this film, I feel like Vision may be the one to die, just due to the fact that the Black Order is going to be searching for the Mind Stone, and obviously that's one of the Infinity Stones, so I think he's definitely really high on my kill list, because they're going to be taking that. As you can see, one of the members of the Black Order are actually trying to prise it from his forehead, so that is going to be really interesting. But we get to see Spider-Man getting slammed to the ground. Man, that's gonna hurt. Thanos is like the Marvel version of Darkseid, but maybe a bit less powerful, but he's powerful, like insanely powerful, like stronger than the Hulk. But Spider-Man looks dope, and I can't wait for him. So we get another few shots of Thanos, and this one is him with his Infinity Gauntlet, and he's got 2 of the stones, and he doesn't have the one that Doctor Strange has, he doesn't have the one Vision has, and also in the MCU we haven't seen the Soul Stone yet. And a big theory to do with the Soul Stone is that it's in Wakanda, because we get to see a massive fight scene in Wakanda later in the trailer, so it seems like that could be where the Soul Stone is. But the CGI looks pretty decent, but Thanos, you know, his arms are massive, like abnormally massive. I guess that makes him less of a human, and it is a lot more intimidating with someone having these massive arms and being obnoxiously tall. But you know, it's a superhero film, so I'm not too bothered about the CGI, to be fair. But one of the coolest shots I think I've seen in superhero films, apart from maybe Wonder Woman's No Man Land scene, is this shot with all of Team Cap, excluding Hulk. Obviously he wasn't on Earth during Civil War, but that's an awesome shot of all the Wakandan people actually running behind them, and this is going to be a great fight scene as we see it throughout the trailer cut up. So Guardians of the Galaxy, so they meet Thor in the trailer, so I'm excited for this. Even though Guardians of the Galaxy 2 wasn't the best film, I loved number 1, so I'm still excited to see them in this film, and hopefully they retcon, you know, the mistakes they actually made during Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and hopefully they make them more interesting in this film. But again, Thanos looking dope. I can't wait for this film. It's going to be awesome. So anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching this Infinity War trailer breakdown, and also we talked about Thanos and how he's changed throughout the MCU. So anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.